From the Huntington Bank Studio, this is Colts 360.
Welcoming you to this week's Colts 360. I am Lara Overton, as we also welcome in our head coach, Shane Steichen, for this week's episode, as we do each and every week. Coach, tough to believe. Week 9, you're getting into that midpoint of the season, so to speak. We're going to do a little kind of mid-season report card because as you look ahead to Carolina, you're starting off that latter stretch of the season. You don't exactly have that perfect midpoint with the 17-game season, but when you look at what you guys have accomplished through that first half of the season, offensively, defensively, special team, in each phase, what are the things you've seen that you've really liked and you want to build upon, and what do you want to see kind of corrected and developing moving forward?
Yeah, I think looking at our kicking game, starting with Matt Gay, our kicker, he's done a phenomenal job. It was a great signing by Chris Ballard, getting him here. He's done a great job, and then Rigo's done a great job punting as well. So
huge coming off the injury, too.
Oh, no doubt about
last
it.
Year.
He's done a really nice job. Seeing him in training camp, kicking for the first time, and then getting him, back healthy, and what he's been able to do has been tremendous. So keep improving there, keep doing that in the kicking game. And then offensively, continue to score points, and taking care of the football will be tremendous moving forward for us. But I like the way we're moving the ball on offense. We got to continue that and keep getting better every week. And then, the defense continuing to come together and making those big plays. And they got a ton of strip sack fumbles and keep getting that done. But overall, we got to keep growing and developing and just making sure we're staying on the details.
I know you're always big on the details and on the process. You've had decades of experience in the NFL, but with this being your first season as a head coach, kind of at that midway point for you, what's the part of the process that you are enjoying the most, especially as you get into the week and the game prep?
Yeah, no, I love being around the guys. I love being around the guys, being around the coaching staff and creating those bonds with those guys in that relationship, because at the end of the day, this is a relationship business. And, when you're together with these guys as much as you are in this building and on that field on Sundays, going to battle with these guys every week, I just enjoy it. I enjoy the preparation part of it and going to work with these guys.
You talked about the production from the offense. It has been proven because you've scored at least 20 points in 8 consecutive games. That's the best streak since 2014. What indication is that of the things that you guys are really doing well, how you're really being productive, but then how you also want to balance that with honing in on the details and the things that you want to progress on moving forward?
Yeah, I think there's little details. You always go back and look at the tape, and it's going to happen every single week. There's little things that you need to get cleaned up. You scored 27 points, but maybe you could have scored 40 points in certain situations. So just cleaning up the little things, but improving on and what we're doing good. Let's make sure we're great going forward with those things.
Jonathan Taylor told us last week one of the things that's most exciting to him is how you and Jim Bob utilize players in different ways, put everyone in position to make plays in different ways. How much are you seeing JT develop, especially in the passing game, in complement to what he's able to do on the ground?
Yeah, no, he's done a really good job. Obviously getting him, back in 4 weeks into this thing and getting his legs underneath him and the way he's running. And obviously in the pass game, using his speed, with some of the things he's able to do in the pass game, hitting the big one against Jacksonville on the third down to him. But he's doing a really nice job, and we'll continue to look at those things each and every week with him.
Zack Moss is our guest coming up a little bit later in studio. That tandem of JT and Moss, how fun is it to be able to use those guys in a variety of ways for you as the offensive play caller?
It's great. I mean, you got a great 1-2 punch back there. Zack has been running really good and getting JT back and what he's been able to do in this league for a long time. It's great to have both those guys in the backfield, and we love it.
Is thunder and lightning too generic of a term to describe those guys? Like, what is that kind of best description? Is it?
I don't know what the term would be for those two guys, but it's great to have them both back there.
Defensive side of the ball, DeForest Buckner continues to prove that he is just one of the best defensive players in the NFL. He's coming off a game with that tackle for loss and a strip sack. This season ranks first among defensive tackles and tied for second among all players in strip sacks. How significant is the impact that DeForest Buckner is week in and week out?
It's huge. I go back to the preparation. Obviously, he's a very talented player, but talent can only take you so far. But you see the way this guy works day in and day out, taking care of his body in the meeting rooms, on the practice field, and then again, it shows up on Sundays. And to have an elite player like him on our defense is huge.
Preparing to go to Carolina and face the Panthers. I know you spent a lot of time evaluating all of the quarterbacks in the 2023 draft class that led us obviously to draft Anthony Richardson. In the assessment that you had of Bryce Young, what was really impressive about him coming out of college and now that your defense will have to prepare for on Sunday?
He did a really good job of getting the ball in his hands quick, a really good processor, having the chance to talk to him and sit down with him through the draft process, really smart, sees the game really well, so it'll be a heck of a challenge for us going there.
Coach, good luck on Sunday. Always appreciate the time. Thanks
All
so
right,
much.
thank you.
I just try to not let one dude tackle me.
Coming up, he's bringing new meaning to You Got Mossed. Zack Moss explains how he's emerged to become one of the league's most relentless runners and the added motivation he brought into the season. That's next on Colts 360.
When the Colts score, the kids win. Meyer, the official super center of the Colts, and the Colts will donate $500 to Riley Children's Foundation for every Colts touchdown pass this season. For updates throughout the season and to learn more about how you can donate to Riley Children's Foundation, visit Colts.com/Meyer. Forte Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is proud to be the team physicians of the Indianapolis Colts. At Forte, fellowship-trained physicians and staff provide comprehensive, specialized sports medicine and orthopedic care to active patients of all ages. To learn more, visit forteortho.com. They give it to Moss. He's angling upfield. First down. There he goes. Big run. 35, 40. Near sideline 50. He's at the 45 inside Saints territory and is dragged down and pulled out of bounds.
You saw the big highlight, that magnificent run right there. He is number 2 in the league in rushing yards. And our guest on this week's Colts 360, Zack Moss. Zack, you've been a Colt now officially for 1 year since that trade was made. How do you describe the journey that you've been on these last 12 months?
It's been fun. Coming over obviously last year, being traded and that whole thing was kind of like crazy. But, I've loved my time being here. Everyone's embraced me and allowed me just to be me and just play ball and all that type of stuff. So I've loved it. It's been a blessing. Now looking back on it, it was just something that was needed. So I'm happy that it happened, and I'm just happy to be here and, being able to help this team.
Another big life change for you. You became a father within the past year as well. Xavier, your son, we've seen him all around training camp. We've seen him at the games. He actually kind of stole the show on Sunday at the game. He was up on the Simba cam. How much motivation have you drawn from becoming a father?
A lot, a ton. I mean, I find it's like every year, it's like something new is that this gets you kind of driven to keep doing this thing over and over and over, right? Because it's so hard to want to do it every day and be consistent at it. But, now, I've always been working towards my future family, and now that future family is really here now. So, it puts me in the mindset, and it gives me a type of perspective, like even when I feel lazy and I'm hurting or anything happens, that, everything I'm doing now is hopefully, setting him up one day. And, every time we go out before the game, right before we go out and then right before halftime, when we come back out again, I always just look at a picture or a video of him and just kind of just get in that mindset of just like, no matter what, like you got to do that.
I always see, you looking up for him and trying to find him. We see your highlights on the video board all the time. Did you see him on the video? You saw it in real time?
Yeah, I did. I watched, like I always watch when, up on the Jumbotron when things are going on, I'm laughing and stuff like that just because, I'm just being in that moment, right? Just being there and just enjoying everything about that day. And I was watching him. I'm like, I'm pretty sure his mom is going to get him up there. Is going to be holding him for sure. So when he came up there, I saw him, and like I don't know if we were on offense, but I think we were because I was standing up. I'm usually sitting down with defense, so I was standing. I think we were on offense, and they was playing them, and I saw him, so I was just smiling right there.
You got to show up when you see him up there,
oh,
right?
Yeah. You got to.
Yeah, it's going to provide a big spark, no doubt. Well, we had Jonathan Taylor was our guest last week, and he said that something he admires so much about your game is your incredible contact balance. He also said he really wants to learn that spin move that you throw in, so you're going to have to teach that to him. How did you develop those aspects of your run game?
I mean, I think it's just my body type, right? I think just, I'm low center of gravity. All my power, my base is in my lower part of my body. And, I train specifically in the off season to do those things. Even in season, I do a few balance things just to continue to help keep that going. But, I just try to not let one dude tackle me and be able to contort my body in different ways. That seems like it can hurt sometimes. But, I think you just have to, it's just something that you feel for me, it's kind of just natural. Like he always talks about the spin moves and I never try to do it. It's just like an instinct thing that just happens.
Just reaction.
Yeah, like if I try to do it, I suck at trying to do it. But when I just do it, it just happens. So it's going to be real hard for me to teach them that.
We like to say that you've kind of rewritten the definition for "you've got mossed" because, like you said, it's like you don't want one guy to take you down. Usually it's taking like 2, 3, maybe 4 guys. You're just dragging bodies with you. So we like to say that's the 2023 version of "you've got mossed." I know you said a lot of the power comes from your legs, but also when you got guys punching at the ball and you're trying to drive momentum forward, how much is also coming from like core and upper body?
Oh, it's all, intertwined. Everything is, one. But I think when everyone's trying to punch at the ball, I think we do just a good job of like the ball security drills, and as running backs, we take super pride in that, right? To not turn the ball over when the ball's in our hands. Because we touch the ball quite a bit during games and things of that nature. So, we're not only, handling our future, we're handling the team's future and everyone else around and the staff and everything like that. So, when I'm getting the ball, I'm making sure that, no matter what, if it's a long run, short run, that I have my ball security, because at the end of the day, I have to make sure I'm coming back with that ball, because I can take a long run and then you fumble and then you're just sick the rest of the day.
That'll spoil Sunday real fast.
It'll mess it up for you real quick.
No question. Coach Steichen has talked about, as a play caller, being able to utilize you and Jonathan in tandem, not just in the run game, but also in the passing game. How have you seen your role develop, as a pass catching back as well as a runner? Yeah,
they give me a lot of opportunities here to, do some things in the passing game, to show off my ability with catching and being in space. If it's just certain routes that we run a lot of. But allowing me to do it, right? Having me in the game, calling those plays and things of that nature. So, he does a great job. Those guys do a great job with just scheming up things for us, putting us in space, putting us in, situations to go out there and have success.
You were school record holder, still are school record holder, I believe, at Utah in rushing touchdown, rushing yards. You were Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year in a collegiate career. But you also shared that Utes locker room with a couple of guys you now share the Colts locker room. How unique, how full circle is it that your college teammates, Matt Gay and Julian Blackmon, are also your teammates in the NFL, all coming out of Utah? Yeah,
that's cool. I mean, I play with both of those guys. Me and Julian are actually the same class. We came in together. Matt was a year after us, I believe. But, I think, when you leave school, you always just think you're going to play against the guys that you went to school with, right? Like, you're like, all right, well, we're just going to be doing the jersey swaps and things of that nature.
I'll see those Oregon guys.
Yeah,
I'll see those
right.
Washington guys.
I'm like, okay, we'll just do that. And, so when I came here, and obviously I knew Julian was here, so I was like, that's perfect. And then knowing someone going to a new place is always good, right? And then we ended up getting Matt, so I was like, okay, now we're just kind of loading up a little bit. So, it's really cool to see guys that you worked with in college, right, and their dreams and their aspirations and things like that. Seeing them do their thing on the highest level it's really beautiful.
It's so awesome to see you do your thing as well. How about a lot more Simba cams with Xavier Moss and a whole lot more Moss touchdowns in 2023? Appreciate the time as always, Zack.
Absolutely, no problem. Thank you.
He was rolling out to the right, so I was like, well, I don't see anybody deep. Let me go ahead and try to, get in the end zone. Maybe you'll throw it up, and then shoot. You see what happened.
Coming up, Drew Ogletree explains how this went from broken play to backyard football to end zone celebration. That's next on Colts 360.
This season, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is teaming up with the Colts to shine a light on outstanding small businesses. Indy's our hometown, and boosting local business is just one way we want to thank this great city. Go to Colts.com/Anthem Spotlight to nominate your favorite small business today. Anthem and the Colts, helping Hoosier small businesses score. It's time for the Forum Credit Union Question of the Week. How many Indianapolis Colts have rushed for at least 4,000 yards during their time in Indy? 5. Edgerrin James, Marshall Faulk, Eric Dickerson, Joseph Adai, and Jonathan Taylor. Visit the Forum Credit Union Fan Forum section of Colts.com to interact with other fans online. Forum Credit Union, helping members live their financial dreams.
One year ago, Drew Ogletree spent the season sidelined with a knee injury after an impressive and promising Rookie training camp. Now through the first 8 games of 2023, the towering tight end already has 2 touchdowns on the year, and the latest was one that almost didn't happen. In the latest director's cut, Drew explains how it went from broken play to backyard football to end zone celebration.
Backyard football, just a whole bunch of guys having fun out there, and that's really all we did on that play.
Minshew out of the gun, ball in the far hash.
Backyard football, you know, it's really just, hey, go get open. Shoot, that's all I was thinking. I got to get open. The original play was just 4 verts.
Flushing out right side is Minshew.
Once Gardner gets out, breaks containment, at the end of the day, you just got to go make a play.
Minshew behind the line of scrimmage.
Stops, wants to throw.
He's taking a shot for the end zone. Has a man, that's Andrew Ogletree. Did he make the catch?
He's got it!
He did! He did! Andrew Ogletree from Gardner Minshew. Yes, sir! Touchdown!
Backyard football, throw it up, hey, jackpot.
Just a great play by Minshew. He's out there running full speed, collects, and throws an absolute strike to Ogletree.
The original play call was 4 verticals, and then I seen the middle field was open, so I have to break across the safety's face. And once I seen Gardner break containment, I kind of just tried to roll out with him. Didn't see anybody in the end zone, so I was like, I might as well go deep. I mean, he might throw it up. And shoot, he launched up for me, gave me a chance, and I mean, I tried to tell Gardner, you throw the ball, I'm gonna come down with it. I got long arms, nickname's Tree, so got to go grab it.
And that is just schoolyard football all the way.
Oh, he caught that.
Once it happened, I was like, oh, did I really catch it? This really just happened? I just heard the screams. I heard everybody yelling. I'm not going to lie, though. I forgot my celebration. I forgot to hit the little, because we've been talking about it all week. I didn't even think about it.
I ain't gonna lie, I was tired, though. That's why I just stood up. How did you catch that? Hey, you hands catch it.
Being a former receiver, taught to catch with your hands. Don't let the ball come to your body because you never know how it's going to go, especially with a deep ball like that. Coming off an injury last year and missing the whole last season, these moments mean everything to me. A rookie last year, didn't really get to do anything because I was hurt. I feel like every week I have to give it my all because I know that I got 2 special people, 2 in particular, who look up to me in everything I do, which is my 9-year-old son and my 8-year-old brother. Having them back at home, watching me every weekend makes me want to go harder, knowing they look up to everything that I do and every step that I take. They want to be me. Just try to set the right example for them and show them like, hey, doesn't matter what you go through in life, you can still make it. My son, just want to say happy birthday this past week. I hope it was a beautiful one.
What a play by Minshew, and what a catch by Ogletree.
Andrew Ogletree from Gardner Minshew. Yes, sir! Touchdown!
With Veterans Day approaching, the Colts again teamed up with Flags of Valor on the latest Community Tuesday. Players partnered with families of servicemen and women to assemble a keepsake flag and also share memories of their loved ones in honor of their sacrifice and service.
This is about an experience to do together with Colts players, with great families, with us. Like, we're honored to be here. We're honored to do this for all of you, for what your loved ones have sacrificed and what you guys have sacrificed. So it's very meaningful for us. Have fun, take your time, get to meet with the players, and we'll get started. It's a very special, intimate moment to be able to do this in honor of their loved one. So there's a lot of anxiety for everyone, but we get it as a veteran company. We've all lost people. I lost my sister and a lot of my friends in combat. So it's very special for us too to be able to do this with them.
Building the flag with these people is such like an emotional thing for them, obviously, and you can see them like holding back tears, and it kind of brings tears to your eyes because we'll never be able to imagine the loss they have or if they had.
When we lose a family member, we gain hundreds more. But we're overwhelmed and enriched by the love and support that we get from organizations such as the Colts.
Got this for you guys. Oh yeah. Just love meeting them and hearing their story and like where they're at in life, and shared some of the stuff that I'm going through too, and it was just awesome to meet good people today.
Thanks for spending part of your weekend with us and getting ready for game day right here on Colts 360. We'll be back here in studio next week for an all-new episode. Colts at Carolina, 4:05 kickoff there in Charlotte this weekend. And in the meantime, stay up to date with all the latest Colts news via the Colts app, Colts.com, and of course, all the Colts social platforms. And be sure to download the official Colts podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. Here's a preview of this week's episode.
But JJ, if I could start with you, I want to say 1 carry, 1 reception, second half, and I'm talking about Jonathan Taylor. First half, it was great. Blaze of glory, going crazy. Zach Moss had a nice afternoon. But what happened in the second half as far as Shane Steichen's offense going, featuring Jonathan Taylor?
So I get it that JT had, 11 for 94 at halftime, and then he is 1 for 1 in the second half. So I get the questions. I get the holding, asking Shane all these things. Absolutely, totally fair, all that. When you go through it, there weren't that many opportunities for Jonathan Taylor to get the ball. Maybe 2 to 3 other chances for him to get a handoff in the second half. Based on the down and distance, based on then the score of the game. The issue, and I went through this on my 5 Colts things on Colts.com, was maybe you take an issue with Zach Moss getting 5 carries on the second possession of the second half.